Hello, Retro Crew. Today we're going to talk about the live-action Zelda movie. I'm Matt.
I'm Brian, and we're the Retro Sons.
Alright, so I'll get some of the boring stuff out of the way and then we can just talk about our thoughts on it. So it's being produced by Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad. Avi Arad has done live-action Spider-Man, or every live-action Spider-Man. He did Uncharted, Venom, Morbius, the X-Men movies, and the Spider-Verse movies, and a whole bunch of other ones.
Yeah, I knew he was involved in the Marvel movies for a while.
Yeah.
It's a name I'm familiar with, but
Yeah, I've heard his name before, I just wasn't...
yeah, he's got some good movies.
Some good movies
under
behind
his
him.
belt.
Yeah.
Both places, under his belt and behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie must be in good hands.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And the director is going to be Wes Ball, who did the 3 Maze Runner movies, and he's doing the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So, one of them isn't out, and the other ones I've never seen.
Me neither, but
hopefully they know what they're doing by picking him.
meaning they trusted him with all 3 of the Maze Runner movies, so
Yeah, so it must be good.
yeah.
So that's all I had written down.
Yeah.
The Avi Arad thing, he had some really good movies, but he also has some...
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Uncharted one, that kind of scares me. Because that movie was not good.
Yeah,
It was okay, but it wasn't like it should have been, I don't think.
in the same vein like a video game movie.
But every single live-action Spider-Man movie and the Spider-Verse movies, so...
Yeah, but he's just producing it, right? One of probably a few, and there's going to be writers and directors and all this kind of...
Plus with Shigeru Miyamoto involved, I don't think he's going to let him
No.
run wild with it
Yeah.
and make it bad.
For me, this news seemed like it came out of nowhere. You just told me about it one day all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's when the news came out. It was like that day.
So it happened to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not special.
Yeah, just out of the blue, Shigeru Miyamoto tweeted or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. I wouldn't have expected a live action movie. I thought they would have
wouldn't
gone the
either,
same way as the
but-
Mario movie. I
I have high hopes for it.
I thought I saw on Google, how they have the little news stories underneath.
Yeah.
There's something about a Zelda anime. I thought that was coming up, but I didn't really look into it too much.
I don't know. But I really have high hopes. They've been doing a lot of good video game adaptations lately.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us just came out. We just had a video about it on Friday, and that was one of the best video game adaptations I've ever seen.
Yeah, that worked because they did it as like a TV show, so they could like fit everything in there.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to, I think we made that point in that video too.
The video we did, yeah.
Instead of trying to like,
Cram it all into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things. We were watching a video. They were saying something about they have to have dungeons and bosses. I mean, if they're doing like a series of movies, they could probably do different dungeons and all that stuff. But and the dungeons were more like to give puzzles and things for the players to do.
Yeah. But I think they'll figure something out. I mean, the Mario movie just came out, and that turned out good.
Yeah. God.
And Mario isn't my favorite character, but I liked the movie. We went and saw it in theaters, and I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's hard to make a video game like that into a movie.
Right.
Like a set story in the game, and it was already fully fleshed out and everything. They just kind of had to make a show out of it.
Yeah.
But The Legend of Zelda, they do have stories, but it's hard to translate that into a movie, I think. A 2-hour movie.
Yeah, they're probably not going to pick one like fan favorite like Ocarina of Time and make it into a movie.
My guess would be they're probably not going to do a video game story they've already done. They're just going to make a new story for the movie.
Yeah, and that's what you can do with Zelda. Because
Yeah.
everyone has its own story, and there's like kind of a timeline that everyone tries to figure out, but it's like kind of fluid and can move around. And
Yeah, and that's another thing. Is the movie going to be in the same timeline as the video games? Or is it going to be its own thing?
Right.
Are people going to try and fit it in?
Probably.
I don't know. I'm not really a timeline guy. I just like the games for the games, not to try and fit them in a timeline and make it a whole thing.
Yeah. They'll probably do another kind of like Origin of Hyrule type of thing, which happened and like they touched on in Skyward Sword and others.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of Tears of the Kingdom they did too.
Yeah.
Not even kind of, they just did.
Yeah. So,
But that was different than the original Skyward Sword origin story.
and I hope they don't just cast some actors like hot at the time to play Link. I hope they
Yeah.
be nice and they went with some like unknown
Yeah.
type of person.
Like, I definitely don't want it to be Tom Holland.
Yeah, I know.
I know he's not really acting anymore right now anyways.
I think people are just saying that as a joke. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I could see him doing it, but
Yeah.
I really hope. I think he's kind of too old for it now at this point.
Right?
I hope it's just like some unknown, like I think you just said, some unknown actor, and they just make the right choice.
Right.
People keep saying Ganon, but who even knows if Ganon's going to be in it? I would say a Zelda movie probably is going to be Ganon, but
Yeah. But there's
You
been
never
others
know.
like Girahim and
yeah.
who was that one from like I know it was kind of Ganon, the Super Nintendo one.
Oh yeah. Oh, now you put me on the spot. I can't think of it.
Girahim is just the name that always pops into my head.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, like right after we finish this, it's probably going to pop in my head. It's Aghanim or something.
yeah, that sounds right. We'll go with that.
I think it's Aghanim.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see like a whole new bad guy, maybe.
Yeah.
If not, though, I would like it to be Ganon.
There's not Calamity. Well, that was in the. But I'm thinking of what was it in the Skyward Sword before it was Ganon. There's that guy too.
Oh yeah,
I keep putting you on the spot like this.
yeah. Well, normally I'd have these names right there and there'd be no problem. But now that we're here and you're asking me, the creepy tongue guy there.
That's Girahim. I mean the
Yeah.
the main one. Not Calamity. I will keep on to say Calamity, but that's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, or Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
anyway.
it's Breath of the Wild.
Um,
I don't know. We'll put it down below.
yeah. And I mean, it'd be nice because people keep like, referencing Lord of the Rings, and I like those movies. I know you didn't really care for them, but
I mean, I'm sure if I made it through the first one, I just couldn't make it through that movie. I'm sure I'd like them.
I mean, my favorite part, the one that sticks out to me most from those, is the Battle of Helm's Deep. Anyway, the rest of it's just kind of like walking and talking kind of stuff. But
Yeah. Well, that means nothing to me because I've never seen them, never read the books.
yeah,
But
I'll show you later.
yeah,
The books, I don't know. I couldn't get through the books for that, but we're not here to talk about Lord of the Rings anyway.
I really hope they do it right. I think with Shigeru Miyamoto involved,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be good. And it's weird because Sony's going to be not producing it, distributing it. So they're like, PlayStation is going to be making money, or not PlayStation, but Sony.
Yeah.
That comes out with PlayStation is going to be making money off the Zelda movie,
Yeah, and
which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sony owns the rights to Blu-ray too, so every time Nintendo or Sega or Xbox makes a game on a Blu-ray disc, Sony makes money from that too. So they kind of lucked out with that deal.
Yeah, they did.
But there's something I was going to say. I mean, if they do the casting right and the director, I don't know how Wes Ball is as a director, but I saw some footage from the Planet of the Apes movies making. It looks good. It looks Zelda-ish, kind of, what they're showing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can get the CGI right with the enemies and stuff too, because there's probably going to be a lot of CGI in it, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the big enemies and stuff, they kind of have to. I couldn't see them doing practical effects on this one.
No.
I'd like to see a lot of practical effects in it though, but I don't think Wes Ball does practical effects too much. I don't think many people do anymore.
No, not really.
He's kind of a guy.
Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see both anyways. Like, I know sometimes it can come across as cheesy, but
Yeah, but it's gotten better.
yeah. But I think it could be good. It could turn out good. Like I said, I mean, a lot of video game movies and adaptations are turning out good these days.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be finally understanding how to do it.
Yeah.
What people want.
Like the new Tomb Raider movie there. Well, it's not new, but the newest one.
Yeah.
I wish they made more of those because that one was really good.
Yeah.
With Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm. Seemed like they were going to, right? But then, I don't know, something happened
Yeah.
with that. Maybe it didn't do as well as they'd like at the box office or something.
And I liked it way more than the first two they made.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have stinkers, like Assassin's Creed was horrible, and Uncharted wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I think they just tried to cram too much into the Uncharted movie, and I wasn't too happy with the choices they made, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that one's been in production for years, and there were lots of names attached to it, like Mark Wahlberg is Nathan, and then they changed him to Sully, and Bryan Cranston was going to be Sully at one point.
I would have preferred that, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah,
and
I think
don't get me wrong, I like Tom Holland as an actor, but he's just not Nathan Drake in my eyes. Still to this day, I can't see him as Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. He was like really popular at the time, so they were giving him all these different movie things.
And I hope they don't do that with the Zelda movie. I really don't want to see just a popular actor playing Link.
Right.
Link is supposed to be like in every person, like. So when you're playing the game, you could imagine yourself as them.
Yeah.
Like people like to say he links you to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, when I'm playing a Zelda game, I don't ever think like, hey, I could be Link or I am Link. But like that's what they want to get across as you're playing.
Yeah. That was like one of the reasons he doesn't talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even now.
And that's another thing. Like, is he going to talk? And if he does talk, he's going to have to talk.
Yeah. That's the point other people were making. It's like, I don't know how they're going to do it with Link talking. I mean, they give you options of things to say to...
He does talk in the video games, you just don't hear him talk.
Yeah. Like the other characters see him as talking, I think. But we don't hear it.
Yeah. And that's the reason why, so we can imagine ourselves as him.
Right.
Which again, I don't, but... We saw some guy who said he's going to be non-talking in the movie. I'm like, is he really thinking that's true? How could he not talk?
Right.
In an entire movie, how could the main character not talk?
Yeah. I mean, then like that one guy was saying, just don't make him like, I don't know, how he was talking in the cartoon there.
Yeah.
Like all whiny and...
Yeah, I really hope they don't. They're not going to go that route.
They wouldn't go that route. They make him more stoic or whatever.
A lot of people really hate the cartoon, and it is kind of dumb how they made Link in that, but it's a pretty good cartoon for the time it came out. And again, back then they just had like the original Zelda and maybe the second one.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really much story or anything fleshed out, and they didn't know the characters quite as much.
And they actually used the music and the sound effects from the game.
Yeah.
I like that part of it. And they kind of explained how he can carry so much. Like it shrinks down and you put it in a bag or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I always liked that cartoon. I have it.
Yeah.
I watch it from time to time. Well, a couple times I think we watched it.
But it will be interesting to see what they do, because I do like fantasy movies like that, like Lord of the Rings. They could put probably some dungeons. I don't think they'd overload it with like 8 or however many.
They'd have to do multiple movies if they do that.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was saying earlier, but maybe one. I don't know.
And what kind of magical creatures and stuff are they going to put in? And how are they going to manage like all the weapons and stuff he carries? Is it going to be like Breath of the Wild and he just picks up stuff as he goes? And he doesn't have like hook shot and bow and arrow, and well, he has a bow and arrow, but like all the other gear like bombs and hook. No, I already said hook shot, boomerang and everything, just like
long shot, double claw shot. No,
bottles, all that stuff.
I mean, you can have bow and arrow and all that kind of stuff, but I think a lot of those items are just used in like solving puzzles and all that kind of stuff, like boomerangs and all that. So maybe they won't figure he'd need it.
Maybe. Hopefully there's some puzzle solving stuff in it though.
Yeah.
Like that's a big staple of the Zelda series.
Right.
Hopefully they put 1 or 2 puzzles in he has to solve in the movie. And we can kind of solve them along with him.
Right.
I do have high hopes though. Like it was probably almost 10 years ago now they came out with that that fake preview for a Zelda movie.
Yeah. And
that looked really good. Like I was so excited for it for a while there until I realized or found out it was fake.
Yeah, it was a good one though. I remember that.
Like it was all no-name people in it too, and I was still excited. I don't know, I just don't want it to be like just somebody who's already out there and famous. Like, but sometimes when you go with no-name characters, it turns out to be like great.
Yeah, right. Can't think of any examples right now.
I don't know, Friends. Every single one of them was no name.
There you
and
go.
that was one of the top shows of all time.
Right.
See, it can work. They just have to pick the right people and do it right, produce it right, and direct it right, and have a good script.
Yeah,
That's another thing that I hope they have good script writers. And Shigeru said they've been working on it for about a couple years.
Oh wow.
So they've been working on it for a while. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten leaked because it seems like everything gets leaked. He must have been keeping it close to the chest. But
Yeah, must have been good crew working on it.
it was him and Avi, I think. I don't know if anyone else was involved. Those are the two.
Well, there you go. Good crew.
Well, then the director, they said. So they must. It's out there. People know about it, but
Right. But yeah, I think it's good in good hands if Shigeru Miyamoto's involved. He's going to make sure. And Zelda always comes out with good stories in their games anyway. So
yeah. So it should be a good story. I just don't know how they're going to make it in a 2-hour movie.
I mean, movies can run longer than that nowadays. It's one of the things I'm always saying.
Still,
They
like 2.5 hour movie. How are they going to put an entire
right.
20-hour Zelda game in there or more nowadays?
Or they might just break it down into a series of movies.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I would like to see more than one.
Yeah.
If they come out with one.
I mean, if it's successful enough, which Zelda and the Nintendo movie, a video game movie, it's going to be successful. So
Yeah.
you know there's probably going to be sequels.
Yeah, and once they get rolling on it, the other ones will probably be easier than the first one.
Mm-hmm. And there'll be that hype
Yeah.
too. So
Because the first one is always establishing the world and the characters and all that too, so that takes time on the first movie.
yeah.
Then the second one, they can kind of hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Establishing the world, like you said, because Zelda is well known, but there's still a lot of people who don't know it, but they like movies.
Yeah.
And that might appeal to them. They
Yeah,
just see a
because
movie
people
for
that
it.
don't play video games, they have to do it for. Like, I think that's a big reason why they made The Last of Us. Because
Yeah.
when they were talking about it, they're like, well, everyone already knows the story.
Yeah.
And the selling point for it was there's so many people that don't play video games and they want to learn the world and the characters, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a great story to get out there. So I think this movie could do that too. Like, people that don't like playing video games or just can't
Right.
can watch a movie and it'll bring them into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And like The Last of Us, we said that it'll sell a lot of games
Yeah.
because it's
true.
such a good story. Like, if I didn't have The Last of Us, I would have bought The Last of Us to play it.
Right.
And it made me replay The Last of Us when we watched that. So I think that'll do this for the Zelda series too.
Yeah.
Which in the recent years, I mean, so many copies of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have sold. Well, this year, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think a movie would only up sales of games
Yeah. And then,
and systems.
yeah, I was going to say when Tears of the Kingdom came out, they released a special Switch for it, and people bought that, even people who had a Switch already.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
made a
why,
video about it.
that's why I gave you a little look.
That's the only game I play on it too.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
like that if you play it on the Switch that you played Breath of the Wild on, you still have your horses in the stables and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I didn't have any of that because I didn't play Breath of the Wild on it. But
I had some good horses too. I had like a Paul, a Cheddar, Prudence, I think.
yeah,
But anyway.
yeah, but I really hope it comes out good. It could be either really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm gonna watch it and buy it.
Yeah, me too. It could go either way, we don't know.
Yeah. Like we said, I think it'll help boost sales of Zelda games. Not that they need the help, but
No, but it can introduce it to people who just haven't played the game.
yeah.
I mean, nowadays you can watch people play the game on Twitch or on YouTube or all these number of things, but still,
Yeah.
if you want to just watch the story and not have someone talking through it the whole time. I mean, some of those guys are entertaining when they're playing,
Yeah.
like DB Geek, but
Yeah.
still, it'd just be nice to be immersed in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have high hopes. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Zelda's my favorite series out there, so I love seeing anything they want to put out. I'll eat up.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
It'll be the first time I start something Zelda and actually finish it.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I finished Breath of the Wild and I finished,
Link's Awakening.
yeah, The
when
new
it came
release,
to the Switch.
yeah, the update, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. The remake.
Yeah,
they
that's
call
it.
it a remake.
That word was escaping me for some reason, but I don't know.
All right. So let us know what you think. Let us know if you're excited for the Zelda movie. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the future.
To talk more about the past.